Well then, shall we have a little chat about Goodey and his Twitter and the Premiership and what went on there?
Well, it went viral. Let's say that. A lot of people, piggybacked Goodey's video. Did you video your TV? Was that you videoing your TV?
It was on what? It was the TV in the wall in one of the 5-on suites, mate. So, you know. You know the ones you get at the end of your bath? So it was just there. I was lying in the bath, bollocks out, and just watching that. And boom, there you go. Owen Farrell, what are you doing?
Shall I go first? Because then you can maybe go on. So I weren't watching the game, right? And then I watched the clip and it looked bad. And then you've seen his name start trending on Twitter. And then you watch it back and then you watch it back. And then I get carried away, right? Because I start watching the stuff that other people are putting together. You know, they start putting like music over the top and compilations together and start kind of going down the media route, the social media route, just add-ons. I'm just watching that stuff. And I didn't really forget it, but I watched the interaction that was happening with Goodey and some of the people and some of the messages that were coming through. So let's park that for now. So today, because obviously we're recording the podcast on Monday, I've gone back and watched the highlights properly on the big plasma at home, no kids. So I'm fully engaged in it. And what I didn't want to do was piggyback Goodey's tweet and be like, yeah, I 100% agree, or I've not put anything out about it because, one, people know about my relationship with Owen. People know that it's easy to jump on the bandwagon. I'm going to go to it. It's one of the worst tackles I've ever seen. Seriously, and Goodey, you can come on now. Now, it doesn't matter what we say or how we open people up or whatever. What will be, right? There's just some tackles that you see. It's like punching someone in the face, right? It's like if you run up to someone and you're running as fast as you can and punch them in the face. It is completely unacceptable. Now, it's not at that level, obviously, because he's gone to make the tackle, but the force in which he's hitting and the height in which he's hit him, and yes, he's slightly dipping. There's a lot of chat around Atkinson's age, only being a young lad, and that shouldn't come into it. And there's a part of that where it's right, but he's still a fucking young lad, you know what I mean? And one of the other things about it was just the way, you know, like it just stopped dead. Like he's made that tackle, and was it accidental? Like, you know, this is up for debate, we don't know. But I'll just go back to it again. I've watched it on TV on Monday, on my own, with no hidden agenda. That's a fucking bad tackle. Like, as in, I'd say it's an awful tackle.
Yeah.
And you can't get away from that. And the more you watch it, the worse it gets. So you try not to watch it, you just try and put it in that kind of simpler context to a game. But it was coming. You know, you tackle that high. You know, if he's hit him low, it's an unbelievable tackle, but he hasn't. He's hit him high and he's knocked him out, the poor lad.
But this is the thing, though, right? So, and some people that have come back at me on Twitter. Listen, 95% of people, at least 95% of people, agree with me on Twitter. It's horrific. And then there's like the 100 Saracens fans that they've got and Will Fraser that have come at me saying it's embarrassing what I'm saying. I'm like, hold on a minute. Let's park who it is. Let's just talk about the mechanics of the tackle, right? So Atkinson's picked the ball up at the back from an Owen Farrell kick, and he's kind of heading across the field, looking at the defensive wall that's in front of him. Owen Farrell isn't part of that defensive wall because he's flown up on the outside chasing his kick, and he's in the blind spot now. Owen Farrell is in the complete blind spot of Atkinson. Atkinson's got no idea that Owen Farrell is coming to get him from that blind spot. And that's perfectly legal for him to come and do that if it's a legal tackle. So Owen Farrell, and you watch the last 5 steps of Owen Farrell, doesn't slow down at all. He's got one thing on his mind, and this is why when you talk about intent, the intent of Owen Farrell is to absolutely wallop Atkinson as hard as he can. Right? There's no second thought about, he might step me, or I've got to get my body feet. He might step me, or I've got to get my feet right. I've got to get my body set to make a tackle. Owen Farrell's doing one thing. He's going there to hurt that kid. Legally or illegally, in his mind, he's going there to smash him as hard as he can. And that's okay, because that's within the rules of rugby. If you want to go and smash someone, you're perfectly entitled to in a legal manner. The issue is, if you watch Owen Farrell, he's accelerating still as he gets to him, and doesn't change his body at all. He's upright. He swings the arm, and people are going, "Oh yeah, but he stepped and he lowered his height." I reckon he's lowered his height by an inch tops, and it's the very last minute. So it doesn't matter to Farrell. Farrell hasn't even thought about him potentially stepping and lowering his height. He's tried to smash him into next week. Let's be honest. And by doing that, you're out of control. You've got maximum force. There's not even a question of force it. Maximum force with maximum intent of trying to put your whole body weight through a tackle, which, Jim, we've played the game. There's times you fly in for a tackle and there's times when you soak up. Farrell's given that absolutely everything he can to try and hurt the kid. And not hurt him, he obviously wants to hurt him in a tackling sense. And, with it, he's ran that risk. And I'm going to say, since the laws and the regs have been looked at around what is a dangerous tackle, and it's obviously at the forefront of world rugby and everyone's mind around this tackle law. And we've seen some that you go, like Cipriani's one against Munster. He's hit him high. He's hardly put anything into it because Sips doesn't like tackling anyway. It's a red card. But that's what they're trying to get rid of. This tackle by Owen Farrell, I'm going to say comfortably, is the worst tackle I've seen since probably for God knows when, but in reality,
Christopher Hallow affair.
Yeah, it's the worst tackle I've seen since they brought in these regulations and the law amendments and everything to try and protect the players. And just to let people know, Owen Farrell's gone over to World Rugby over the last 6, 8, 9 months talking about player welfare. Well, there ain't no player welfare in Owen Farrell's mind there. The way he's accelerating, coming from the blind side, knowing full well that he knows that Atkinson hadn't seen him. So that's got him even more excited. And he's gone and tried and walloped him. So unfortunately, I see this as the worst type of tackle that World Rugby are trying to get rid of, right? Because Atkinson can't even brace himself when he sees you see a big defender coming to whack you, as a ball carrier, you will brace yourself, won't you, Jim?
Well, Courtney Laws used to tackle like that. He doesn't so much now. He used to blindside the 9, and obviously
but he does it low. He does it low and legally,
and the distance is significantly shorter. I think it's all them things you'll speak about. Let's be honest. If it's 5 inches lower, it's an unbelievable tackle, and he's dislodged the ball, and he probly knocks it out. And Saracen's gone
5 inches.
Yeah, I know. 5. Yeah, it's absolutely reckless. Yeah,
this is the thing where people are saying if it's not though. You can only deal in what's happened. So people go, oh, if it is 5 inches lower or 2 inches lower, it's a brilliant hit. Well, yeah, but it isn't though. All we can do is judge and deal with what we've seen, and it's the worst tackle I've seen since that we highlighted the necessity to look after players within the concussion idea and what's gone on. So these laws have been brought in, and the fine. These laws have been brought in, and the citing and the bans. And there's no doubt in my mind this is a high end. That we've got the jury coming tomorrow night over Zoom or whatever it is for Owen Farrell, and we'll find out what happens. But there's mid-level, which is 6 weeks minimum, and there's high end, which is 10 weeks minimum. This is high end without a shadow of a doubt.